Let's go.
NBA All-Star Weekend is over with. It was in Indianapolis this past weekend. And boy, what an exciting weekend it was. We had a dunk contest where Mac McClung was the back-to-back champion. But we got to get down to what All-Star Weekend is really all about. The big game on Sunday when you see West take on East. Now, years prior, they switched up the format. We had team captains. The captains would pick the teams. I thought that was pretty cool, right? It felt like being on the playground and, you get picked first, you get picked last. Seeing some of the NBA guys get picked last was pretty wild, actually. However, they go back to this East-West format. I knew that the over was dead in the water. The over was 352. I knew they were hitting that without a problem, right? But I did not know that we would end up with a game that was 211 to 186. I actually saw Dame pull up from half court and take a set shot and make the shot. Just crazy. The question has to be asked, does the format need to change? Do people want to see these types of basketball games, or do people want to see a game that's competitive? Dub, I'm going to go to you. I want to know what your thoughts are on that.
I mean, to me, the players get paid for being an all-star. Like, it's worked out in the contract. They get bonuses and such. For me, I don't mind the high-scoring games and it get competitive in the fourth quarter. I'm just trying to figure out a way that they can structure the all-star game where it's still competitive, but we're also being mindful of the players' safety. Because at the end of the day, you don't win the championship mid-season. You don't want to play out a game mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, I understand why the players are being extremely careful in the All-Star games. But when you look at it historically, right, when you take out load management, when you take out sitting games, when you take out not being competitive in All-Star games, back in the day, those guys, they used to get banged up, but like they would go out and play. You didn't hear about a whole bunch of ACLs being torn, whole bunch of broken legs, bad ankles, because I think once you train the muscle and you're constantly putting it under stress, the less likely it is to be injured. That's just my opinion. So back in the 80s and early 90s, players, they played, early 2000s, players played, they didn't really sit out. So not sure what we can do with the formatting of the All-Star game. I think it's okay. It's fun to watch them score all those points, but we would like to see a little bit of competitiveness with that game.
I think they need to just scrap the whole idea of the All-Star game in the format that it is today.
Oh, damn.
To your point, I don't think there's any way to make it competitive in today's landscape. When you think about players potentially getting hurt, this is a game that's in the middle of the season. Guys have contract incentives on the line. I mean, there's so many things that go into it. The All-Star game needs to be a 3-on-3 tournament. So you pick the All-Stars in the same way that you would in any other year. You let these guys pick their own 3-on-3 teams, or you break them into 3-on-3 teams,
I like
and
it.
you have a series of games that
like
go on throughout Sunday, and people get to see their favorite players team up and who ends up being that 3-on-3 champion. To me, that's much more competitive. It's more of a pickup game, so it's less likely that guys would get hurt. Teams can have different strategies in terms of, do we want to get a big man? Do we want to play small ball and see, do we see a Dame, a Steph, and, a Halliburton or something run together? You never know. But this way it's competitive. Whoever wins, a big check goes to the charity of their choice. But you have fans who are excited about seeing one of their favorite players play in this format, and then you don't have to worry about the games not being competitive because it's a lot more isolation, one-on-one. You might get a LeBron versus KD straight up, so I think that would make the game much more competitive.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty dope. And then what you can do is split the court in half. You have one game going on one side, other game going on the other side, and then boom, there you go. Yeah, that would be dope, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really dope. Listen,
Yeah.
NBA, if you take that idea, I'm going to need y'all to go ahead and give us our credit.